racing games nowadays have incredible sounding cars, but Forza on the other hand, well, the sounds are just meh. Well, in this video, I'll be going through how to fix them. So 4,000 likes is the target for today's video. And remember, the more likes, the more exposure, and the more likely the devs are to watch this video and maybe fix these problems in the next game. Thank you very much. Without further ado, let's get to this video. Here I'm driving the Hellcat, and as you can hear, yeah, it sounds alright, but it doesn't sound very realistic. Because in Forza Horizon 5, basically every automatic car shifts instantly, and it's not very realistic if you look at it compared to the real car in real life. Because in reality, the gearbox of the Hellcat sort of fades to the next gear, if you get what I mean. You get what I mean? But in Forza Horizon 5, it's like it just changes gears instantly, and that's not very realistic. I want it to fade to the next gear. Anyways, this is not just a problem on the Hellcat, because in Forza Horizon 5, the PDKs seem a bit slow, like there's a bit of a delay. But as we know in real life, PDK shift instantly, like this. And also with the Aventadors in Forza Horizon 5, the shifts are so tame. But in reality, Aventador single clutch gearboxes are so aggressive, and they basically just break your back whenever you shift. So yeah man, the gearboxes in Forza Horizon 5 are really weird because they all basically just feel the same. And I feel like if they properly differentiated whether it's a single clutch transmission or a dual clutch transmission or a PDK, then the cars would sound so much better. Now, turbos in Forza Horizon 5 just sound so boring and bland, and like there's no variation. I mean, you just hear the same blow-off valve over and over again. I mean, it's just so bland. I mean, don't get me wrong, the turbo flutter does sound pretty cool, but I want there to be variation, like it's the exact same flutter over and over again. But the biggest problem about big turbo cars in Forza Horizon 5 is the fact that there is no spooling. Yeah, with turbo cars in real life, you'd expect a spooling sound and then the blow-off valve. I mean, in Horizon 5, you'll be accelerating and you'll hear no spooling whatsoever, and then at the end, you'll hear the... And you'll be like, oh, this is a turbo car. Well, of course it's a turbo car, but there's no spooling, so how am I meant to know? Honestly, imagine if instead of this, the turbo sounded like this. That just sounds a lot better. And something really annoying about the turbos is that you hear the flutter and the blow-off valve all the time. Like, you'll just tap the accelerator a little bit and then... That's not how turbos work! So yeah man, turbos just seem to be having an identity crisis in Forza Horizon 5 because they just spool up instantly and oh, XP board. But yeah man, they spool up instantly, you don't hear the spooling sound, and you just, yeah, it's just like turbos are weird in this game, they're so weird. Now in Forza Horizon 5, we have launch control, which is a really cool feature. As you know, it minimizes wheel spin and it gives you a great launch, and you know, it's a really nice feature, but there's a small problem with it. And it's the fact that if you initiate launch control in Forza Horizon 5, then it sticks to a specific RPM, look at that, 3000 RPMs, but if you listen to it, yep, you don't really get a launch control sound. But Golf Rs are known for their very iconic launch control sound. Yeah, that's so cool, but in Forza Horizon 5 they don't replicate it, and it makes me very sad. It just sticks to a certain RPM and it sounds so tame. Like, if you heard this, you would not expect this car to launch into like flipping billion miles per hour. Like, what is this? Even a Fiesta overtook me. That's cringe. So yeah man, don't get me wrong, I am so glad that we have launch control in Forza Horizon 5. I said 5 really weird there, but yeah, I'm so glad that we have this feature, but it would have been so much cooler if we had that launch control sound. I mean, what sounds better? This or this? Yep, I'm sure we all know the answer. there's something that shows just how dated Forza Horizon 5 is, it's the Backfire. Because it looks terrible, and believe it or not, it sounds even worse. I mean, just look at this. It's so random, the Backfire as well. Like when I was at Redline, nothing happened, and then it was like a few seconds later that it was like, oh, I meant to pop, and then it just started popping. And another problem is that basically any car you drive, whether it be a 1-cylinder, 2-cylinder, 3, any car you drive, it backfires. For example, you'll be driving this beautiful LFA, listening to its glorious symphony, and then when you let go of the accelerator, you'll hear the pop, and I'm like, what are you doing? The LFA does not pop in real life, and that's what makes this car sound so good, because all you hear is a beautiful symphony and no artificial pops and burbles. So yeah, man, the Backfire in Forza Horizon 5 needs to be less frequent, the animation needs a little bit of improving, and the sound itself needs a bit of improving as well, because instead of this sound, imagine if it sounded like this. Oh my god, that's just better, okay? That's just better. Okay, now I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the anti-lag in this game, because I love the fact that we actually have anti-lag in the game, and when you listen to it, it actually sounds really good. I mean, just listen to that, man. That sounds beautiful. See, I mean, I love the fact that we have it, and I love how good it sounds, but it just makes every car sound like a rally car. See, yeah, man, it's not really a car sound fault, as in my opinion, I think this sounds absolutely amazing, but it would have made so much sense if the anti-lag had a switch, if you get what I mean. Because whenever you see videos of Supras with anti-lag and GTRs with anti-lag, it's most likely mapped onto a switch, so the driver can flip the switch and then you hear the anti-lag. But in this game, it's just like the anti-lag is constantly on. I nearly said constantly that's weird, but yeah, it's like the anti-lag is always on, and it's not like how anti-lag works in real road cars. So yeah, man, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we have anti-lag in the game, but I wish it was mapped onto a switch, or they could have done what it said, of course they did, and make the anti-lag audible only when in redline, because I like that system so much better. And with that system, you don't constantly hear the backfire, like the going, like I'm in less than 4,000 RPMs, I'm not hearing the backfire. Like, what is this? This is not how it's meant to work, man. What are you doing? Now here I'm driving an old school American V8 motor, 396 cubic inch. Oh yeah, no displacement over replacement. No replacement over displacement. Yeah, I'm driving an American car. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? And if you listen to this car, it just has that unmistakable sound of freedom. Yeah, V8 motor, 396 cubic inch. And yeah, man, it's a pretty good sounding car. But when you stop the car, on the other hand, that's when the problems start, because where the noise? You might be thinking, oh, your car's off. Well, it's not off, because as you can hear, I can rev the car, but you don't hear any idle sound whatsoever. Honestly, with a V8 motor like this, you'll be expecting it to like chop when it's idling and hear the fuel gushing out the exhaust. But nope, this car idles silently, like it has stop-start technology or something. And it's so annoying, because that's one of the best sounding parts about V8 motors. The idle is the chopping sound. It's just so iconic. But in Forza Horizon 5, you stop the car and you hear silence, and I'm like, what is this? I want to hear the chopping sound. Honestly, man, instead of this, imagine if we heard this. Yeah, that just sounds so much better. But weirdly, not every car in Forza Horizon 5 idles silently, because cars like the Aston Martin Valkyrie actually idle very, very loud in Forza Horizon 5. I mean, just listen to this. That is pretty loud. I didn't even hear the Corvette go past, because that's how loud this car idles. Honestly, man, we need more loud idles like this, but on more cars in this game where they have loud idles, because that would sound so beautiful, and I would like that very much. Now in Forza Horizon 5, you can modify your transmission, and it basically sounds like you've got straight cut gears. I mean, listen to this. Is pretty cool, but it's a little bit unrealistic, because with cars with straight cut gears in real life, when you let go of the accelerator, you'll hear a bit of a like, you know, a little bit of oscillation. But in Forza Horizon 5, well, look what happens if I let go of the accelerator. Nothing! And from the interior camera angle, listen to this. Yep, nothing happens. And it's a shame because the straight cut gears in this game do sound pretty good. So yeah, man, I really wish that Forza Horizon 5 included that letting go of the accelerator sound, because that way straight cut gears would have sounded so much more realistic and it would have felt so mechanical. And as car guys, I'm sure we can all agree that mechanical sounds, yeah? They give us the mechanical wow, you get me? Wait, that was cringe, what am I doing? Now some cars, especially modern cars, are very well known for their very distinctive burbles and pops and overrun. For example, this BMW M2 is very well known for its distinctive overrun sound, because when you rev this car in real life, this is what it sounds like. You know, that's pretty cool, and games like Dirt Rally 2.0 actually replicated this very well.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep, and this is a game from 2019, but with this game, well, let's have a listen to the M2 revving. Yep, you don't hear it. And this is not just a problem with the BMW M2, because with the Audi RS7 and RS6, those V8 engines are known for those little pops after you're shifting gears and when you let go of the accelerator. Yep, but with the RS7 in Forza, you don't get any of that, and it's a little bit cringe. So yeah, man, if those cars that burble and pop and have those overrun sounds in real life had that in Forza, then the cars would sound so much better.